This month, November 2025, is Medical Cannabis Awareness Month. Here are some reflections by former nurse and long-term prescribed patient, alipinkongreen.com. 7 years ago, the 1st of November 2018, cannabis was finally made legal in Britain again, though only for medicinal use, under Conservative Prime Minister Theresa May. Interestingly, this was mostly in response to family campaigners for children whose health had benefited immeasurably through cannabis treatment. Billy Caldwell and Alfie Dingley were two children who were prescribed cannabis on the National Health Service. And there was surely celebration amongst parents who'd already learned the benefits and had been having to obtain cannabis for their children illegally before, and adults who thought their luck had finally changed. But I don't think so far this legal change turned out at all as many people imagined. The number of clinics, pharmacies, producers, etc. has grown massively, though it's in many ways a complicated system compared to NHS. The number of available products, as flowers, oils, edibles, and so forth, has grown too. It's mostly imported still. There's a big spectrum in terms of price, but it's still expensive, and stock issues remain problematic. Unfortunately, it's still like there are only 2 cannabinoids, so products rich in CBG or CBN, for instance, still aren't invited to the party. And whereas prescriptions are available for a lot of conditions now, cancer isn't one of them. That's another major shortcoming in the view of some of us who've experienced it for this purpose and believe it works. Particularly given the aggressive and negative effect-heavy treatments that continue to be offered. Cannabis doesn't attack healthy cells. Even if it's not a remedy trialed here for cancer, we know it's safe, being prescribed for many other health issues. So why is it criminal for us personally to give it a chance in this context? When did our healthcare system morph into one that robs us of personal autonomy, or treats us like cranks if we opt for traditional remedies before others? Disagreeing does not make people idiots. People are forced to choose pharmaceutical drugs or surgery with lots of risks and potential nasty short and long-term effects, including withdrawal and addiction risk, unless they go private or break the law. And parents are offered brain surgery for their epileptic children, but not cannabis. How can this be right? People could scarce afford this medicine before the cost of living crisis, and many make big sacrifices to do so. We're saving the NHS a fortune on the formally prescribed medications that didn't work anyway, and being penalised because of it. On neither a health level nor a fiscal level does continued prohibition make any sense, something much of the world has been recognizing for quite some time. Though even countries where cannabis is less prohibited have their problems, this often seems a result of politicians everywhere creating legal systems so complex and pricing systems so prohibitive they're doomed to fail. Or people, including even those enforcing the laws, not understanding them. Hemp and CBD industries are placed under their own restrictions, further confusing what you can buy legally, not on prescription, and how it can be consumed. British medicine continues to insist on randomized controlled trials, which successive governments don't commission, and the cannabis sector can't afford. But there's loads of global research, and we've known for decades that our bodies contain cannabinoid receptors as part of our endocannabinoid system. It had been used medicinally in Britain for a long time before it was banned. If it was sending everyone crackers, like so many claim, we'd definitely have noticed. Some might not respond to it well mentally, but that's true of many, many things routinely prescribed. It's known in some instances to have been effectively preserved for thousands of years. Now it's prescribed with expiry dates of within a few months. Cannabis consumers, or the parents of, or providers, remain at risk of criminalization if they don't or can't go down the prescription route. Cannabis consumption as preventative medicine remains illegal, and in overcrowded prisons, peaceful, non-violent people still are imprisoned on cannabis charges. Public awareness of the law and the benefits of cannabis for health, and indeed hemp for all sorts of purposes, remains generally poor. In both the media and professional, educational literature provided by our successive governments, there's a clear reluctance to change or correct this. Cannabis continues to be stigmatized, misrepresented, and lied about, putting even legal patients at risk and inadequately provided for, with virtually no advocacy. People with chronic conditions are tired of having to fight and being offered things that make us worse. Traditional natural remedies, including cannabis, witch hazel, aloe vera, and essential oils, might not have undergone randomized controlled trials. But we know they're therapeutic and relatively risk-free. We know so much about them because they've been around in use for so long. We're lucky enough to be able to easily purchase them without them being under the messy remit of a failing National Health Service, but you can't get high off them, and strangely, that's what so many people appear to lose their shit over. If it isn't safe, why was it given to those children, those who continue to thrive on it several years on? If it was safe, why is it still not so for the rest of us? Unless we pay for private prescriptions when it suddenly becomes safe again. It defies logic, surely. Still, back to the positive. We might not have just and fair laws yet, but what we do have is an exceptional plant and an ability to share the word. So thank you to all the shady, law-breaking folks who campaigned and educated and fought to get us even this far, and those who continue to do so. Prohibition doesn't work. It never worked. Make cannabis legal for everyone. Background music is Waves, brought courtesy of Surf House Productions. See video comments for full credits. AI narration on the narrated version is brought to you courtesy of 11 Speech Reader and alipincangreen.com. Cannabis, medicinally legal since 2018, medicinally useful for millennia. Thank you for your time.